Welcome. It's the first Tuesday of the month, so you know what that means? That's right. It's time for shelf-stable pantry recipe. Now I hope you have your little cookbook and are watching each of the videos today and putting in the recipes you like. If you need the cookbook cover, there's a link down below. And there's a link to this recipe down below also. But I was thinking, what happens if you don't have any meat? What do? I don't know about your family, but my husband is just like, meat, that's gotta have meat. I mean, it can be salmon or something like that, but definitely big piece of meat or fish or seafood. So what happens if you run out? Well, I thought let's get a little creative with what we have. So today we're going to try to make meatballs without meat, and we're going to use all shelf-stable ingredients. Now, many years ago I posted a video making, again, sausage in quotes. There was no meat in it at all. It was made with oatmeal, and believe me, the texture was absolutely perfect. I just needed to tweak a little bit the sausage seasoning. But at the time, my husband, my grandson, they could not believe it wasn't a sausage patty. And I'll have the link here for that video if you're interested. So they would have been happy with that for breakfast along with their eggs. But I wanted to make something for a main meal. So I'm going to try to make meatballs. Again, meat is in quotes. So come along with me while we try it. Now I want to thank the collaborators in today's shelf-stable pantry recipe collaboration. We have Tuliloo Creates, Alderman Farms, Crazy Days, Diane the Canning Nana, Fermented Homestead, Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking, In the Kitchen with Karen, Jenny's Scratch Made Kitchen, Linda's Pantry, Mennonite Farmhouse, Sutton's Days, and me, Prepper Potpourri. We're going to need a half a tablespoon of olive oil. In here we have 1 teaspoon dehydrated onion flakes, 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder. Here we have 3/4 cup Quaker Quick Oats, and we have a can of white kidney beans, the cannelli beans, and we've rinsed them. We're going to need a tablespoon here of tomato paste, and we're going to use some Italian seasoning. And if you want to, this is optional, you can make this with spaghetti noodles, but we're using the ramen noodle soup because I want to use the beef flavored packet. Now instead of this, you could also use beef bouillon. So let's put the packet in there. Okay, it smells pretty beefy. And then we're going to add a little Italian seasoning. It's not coming out very well, is it? Let's try out here. There we go. And now we're going to get ready to mix this all together. So we got our beans and oatmeal in there. We're going to add our seasonings. Tablespoon of tomato paste. And our 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, we're just tossing that. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now we'll make our meatballs. As you can see, I first made these meatballs, but then I decided, you know what, the color's wrong. So I am using a little kitchen bouquet. I'm just going to put a little of that. Let's see how that can, we want to darken things up just a little. There we go. Just too light looking. I think this will give it a much meatier look and maybe help with flavoring. Okay. I'll make meatballs again. So we're just rolling them a little, just like that, and there. And that browning just gives them more of a meat look, I think. Now you can make these as small or as big as you want. So they're going in our 350-degree oven for 15 minutes. Halfway through, we're gonna flip them over. Oops, and there is one more ingredient you're going to need, and that is your sauce. Now I bought this, guys, just for you because I make my own and can it, but I thought I'd show it with store-bought. So you want some spaghetti sauce, and we're gonna have to warm it up. So we can cook both the ramen and the spaghetti sauce while our meatballs are in the oven. Okay, we just want to flip these over quick. That's hot. Now we're going to put them back in for 8 minutes. So I just took them out of the oven, and now I'm going to put them in the spaghetti sauce. And we've got our meatballs in here, and our noodles are almost done. Be back when we dish it up. Okay, we got the noodles on, we got the meatballs and the sauce, and you know me, I have to have some red pepper, because that's the way I like it. And, of course, Parmesan. Now let's do our taste test. Here we are. It certainly looks like meatballs. Meatballs. Notice me saying that. Take a little. Trying to get the meat also. Okay, I think it's cool enough. That's very good. I don't know if somebody would know. It wasn't meat. Let's see how it goes for my husband. Do you like it?
Tastes good. Texture's a little different.
You know why it's a little different?
Why is that?
There's no meat in it. It's made with white beans and oatmeal. So, my husband knew the texture wasn't quite right, but you know, the flavor wasn't that bad. So, he ate his dinner. Was it his favorite? No. Was it my favorite? Well, you know, as long as I could put my red peppers on, it was fine. You know, the ragu sauce really wasn't bad. And the ramen noodles, again, not my favorite, were okay with the sauce. And because they look like meatballs and they were on noodles in a tomato sauce, my mind thought they were meatballs and the taste was okay. I'm not going to kid you and say it was fantastic. But you know what? If that's what you had on your shelf, I think your family would be happy and their bellies full. So, you know, I was tweaking a little as I was making it. I might change, maybe put a little bit more seasoning in the meatball, maybe a little bit more Italian seasoning. And I liked the addition of the kitchen bouquet because it gave it more the color, I think, of a meatball. which I think is important. But I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever made meatless meatballs? If so, how did you make them? And do you have any tricks on how to make people think they're eating meat when they aren't at all? Comment below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you add this recipe to your recipe book and are watching every other single video, and there is a playlist down below so you don't miss one of the videos. Thank you.